Yo, 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 what is up, my fallopian tubers? It's Sario from the Fario, coming back at you with another video for your butt. And this is going to be my 2021 YouTube Hall of Fame ballot. Sorry, Mike, for turning it in so late. I actually came out with my ballot like a week ago, and I had big plans for my video. I had a couple of skits. I had a kind of a big video coming, but unfortunately, my wife came down with COVID last week, and so the whole week I had a quarantine, and I've been sleeping in my living room. To answer your question, Stove, on Zombies video stream this morning. That's why I've been sleeping on the couch for a week. My wife's been quarantined in the room, and so kind of being worried about her for a whole week. I wasn't in the mood to just make fun videos, So sorry about being late with this, Mike. But the Hall of Fame, man, what can you say? Controversy every year, whatever. Drama. That's for people that like drama. First year, the problem was people had a problem with the 1 year eligibility. A lot of people thought it should be at least 3, which I agree with. I always thought it should be 3. But I understand with going with the 1 year because the average lifespan of a YouTube channel is about 3 years. And then the second year, the controversy was because right away in the second voting, people were just voting for their friends, or a lot of them were like, oh, voting for people that sent the best care packages. So Mike got kind of mad, and that's when the whole commish thing started. You know what I mean? Because he wanted to lay down the laws. Like, come on, people, vote for quality people. So there was a backlash from people like, go vote for who we want to. You know what I mean? That's what voting is, man. You vote for who you want to. A lot of people don't like to be told who to vote for. But that was it. The third year was basically Mike burning some cards right before the Hall of Fame. And that might not have been the best move to burn baseball cards in the baseball card community, but it is what it is. So that was, and then this year we had a few people posting videos telling you who you shouldn't be voting for. Like I said, voting, you vote for whoever you want. Even if you don't agree with who somebody's voting for, that's their vote, man. You just got to live with it. You know what I mean? So, it's really nothing major. This is kind of fun all the time. You get to see obscure channels. Even that's what's the cool thing about people voting for. You have to vote for your friends, don't you? Because if you talk to these people on a daily basis and then you don't vote for them, you're gonna hear it, And so that's what makes it hard. At least for me, is like I don't take the YouTube Hall of Fame like serious as a heart attack, but during I kind of do. It's like if you ever played sports, during the game you take that game serious as hell. But as soon as the game's over, congratulate each other, win or lose. Nice battle. This is kind of like the Hall of Fame. Take it serious during, but in the end, it's just a game. It's not real. There's no real YouTube Hall of Fame. There's no brick and mortar building where you're gonna go and see statues of Pepino Man and people in the Hall of Fame. It's just for fun, guys. And you do get a chance. That's what's a good thing about people voting for their friends. You might get to hear about smaller channels, obscure channels that might pique your interest, and this is the only way you're gonna find out about those channels. It's networking, basically. All right. So, with with that out of the way, here's my votes. All right. So, one of the best things I like about the YouTube Hall of Fame voting process is listening to why people are voting for certain people. So you might be voting for someone I don't agree. You might have different criteria. But I just want to hear why you're voting for them, man, And it is what it is. I can live with it, So that's what I'm going to do. And I like to try to guess who they're talking about, all right? So for me, this was hard, It took me a long time. I got the list down. My first list was like 60-something. Took it down to like 40, then 30, then 20-something. And then when I was down to like 16 or something, I started making categories, all right? So that's how I'm voting. I'm going to have a vintage category, an auctions category, a pickup and mail day category, a breakers category, and kind of like the new guys in towns category, So I ended up leaving like influencers out, flippers out, funny channels out, which most people consider my channel a comedic channel, but I left the comedy channel. I try to be a little bit more serious this year. All right. So my two vintage guys. All right. And like a lot of my cast kept changing and changing, man, on a daily basis, hourly almost. My top 10 kept changing. I really wanted guys like Passion for Cards, Cardboard Teacher, these great set collectors that I admire, my baseball card heroes, YouTube heroes. I wanted to vote them in. But with the criteria that I'm trying to be kind of have some integrity with as far as longevity, being active, you know what I mean? You got to be making videos still all the time. And if you're not, that's kind of one of the things that would edge you out, So this guy right here, my vintage guy, one of my vintage guys, he has a sweet mustache. All right. He's a Dodger fan. He crashes into walls. So if you guessed, geez, Mikey, you are correct. That is my first vote for the Hall of Fame. All right. So I picked another guy from vintage. I picked two people from every category. So my second vintage guy is a guy who recently participated in a parody of a Snoop video. And man, you saw a side of him that you've never seen before. And when you see a guy who's always serious, and then you see him just going off and crazy, it was the funniest thing, man. Best part of the parody. And his collection, he has rare and odd stuff. So if you guessed vintage oddball cards, you are correct. All right, so those are my two vintage guys. I also voted for two auction guys, people that hold auctions. Me personally, I really don't like to join into the auctions because I like to buy cards in person, but every once in a while, if there's nothing on, I jump on them. But for the most part, I try to stay away from them because I'm a card addict. I'm a baseball card junkie, and I buy every card. Is ooh, I need that. Ooh, I need that. Ooh, I need that. I need every card, so I try to stay away from auctions, man, because I can't feed my addiction at a pace I can't keep up. All right, so this first guy who has auctions, I hung out with him at the National. Man, we had White Castle. We went to White Castle, man. All right. But this guy has auctions, man. He gives a lot of money to charity. He holds a lot of auctions for charity. Just a guy with the big heart, And if he has a lot of tattoos. And if you guessed Jimmy Guns, you are correct. That's my third nominee for the YouTube Hall of Fame. So my second auction guy, I actually had him in two categories. So he made it in the auctions category, and he was in a category that I did away with, which was comedy channel, like a funny channel. But he made his way into the auctions, my top two for the auctions. He's oval shaped. He has a great voice, and he always tells everybody, "Hey." So, if you guessed it come off a egg, you are correct. All right. So those are my two vintage guys and my two auction guys. So my next two guys, they fall into my pickups and mail day category. Now, that's probably what I would classify my channel at, because I do more mail day videos than anything else. I remember when I first started, a lot of people would tell me, stop making mail day videos, Stop making mail day videos and just do comedy stuff and just do this. I was like, dude, I don't care about my views. You know what I mean? I'm just on YouTube to share my cards. All right? And the entertainment part, I do it for myself more than anybody else. You know what I mean? So I enjoy the mail days. I really enjoy sending people cards and them opening them and seeing their joy. That's one of my favorite things on YouTube. So this next guy, I remember one time I sent him a care package. If you guys know about my Pepino Shine Box, I like to send people just a bunch of shiny cards, and I'll send them some shades, you know. And one time I sent this dude a Shine Box, and it was basically a bunch of nobodies, you know. At least to me, there was like, I just went to a dollar box, and I just picked out the shiniest, coolest cards that I could find, you know, regardless of the player. So there was a lot of players I had no idea who they were. I just sent him the shiniest cards. But when he opened them, he knew who every player was. I was not expecting that. He give you a description of every card. Oh, when this 1992 hoops came out, I used to go to this liquor store and buy them there. Oh, when this skybox came out, my uncle this, and you know, and I traded my uncle this. Like, he knows about every player and every card, and that just amazes me. All right, this guy's from New York. He worked for Ricky Russo, and if you know who I'm talking about, it's Victor Negron. All right, so that's my 5th vote. My 6th vote also is a mail day guy who opens up his mail days on video. And this guy, I sent him a care package and he didn't open it on video. It made me sad. But I'm still voting for you because all the other ones you've made make up for not opening mine on video. Just kidding, I'm playing with you. But this guy and his daughter open up care packages together, and they make a great team. All right? Reminds me of back in the days when I first got on, and I used to send care packages to Snotzilla, and him and his daughter would open it. This guy and his daughter open up all these care packages, and he lives by the water. So, if you guys guessed Lou Rock TV, you are correct. All right? So, I'm going to go to the last 4 guys. So, these other 2 categories this one is breakers. I'm not a huge fan of breakers for money. You know, there's a difference. I break cards all the time, but they're for my personal use, so I don't mind people who break cards for their personal use. Just, I guess, like a name you fall under. But I'm not a big fan of people who break just for money with no other purpose. And these guys don't fall into that category, but they break cards. This first is a team of 2 people. And I remember when they first came out, we did we used to do Pack Wars. Them and me and Mike O, we would have these streams together where we would have Pack Wars. And back then, these 2 guys were still a smaller channel, and me and Mike go to them, we were big channels. But now these guys have surpassed us by leaps and bounds. A father and son team, man, who I just love what they do. I love their commentary. They love the hobby, man. And if you already guessed Up North Collectors, you are correct. All right. So this next breaker, all I remember watching his first video, and he was just like, "Hey, you know, I collect, and I hope to be opening up some packs here and there." You know, he was kind of shy about it. I remember I thought it was pretty funny, and I was like, "Well, let's see where this guy goes." You know, let's see if he hangs, you know, because you see a lot of channels that start, make a couple of videos, and they disappear. But this guy got on, great personality, fun dude, positive, and he was just breaking cards. And then eventually, man, he just started breaking a big amount of cards, and he's fun to watch. And then lately he's added his wife, and him and his wife have Pack Wars now. And so he's one of my favorite breakers. Doesn't do it for the money. Just buys cards, man, and breaks cards. Started doing mail days lately. And now he's doing them with his wife. So if you guessed if sports cards, You are correct. So that's my 8th vote for the Hall of Fame this year. So my last category was is rookies, newbies, newer guys. Not necessarily guys who've been on YouTube for a long time. So this guy, he came in with a bang, right? And he's on all platforms, man. I see him on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook. He's everywhere. I don't know how he does it, man. But he still has the time to make sick videos. Awesome editing. Great sense of humor. All right. And his name kind of sounds like rice, a type of rice. And if you guessed Thrice-Aroni, you are correct. All right. Love his channel, man. Came in with the bang, and man, he's handling it. Love the energy, love the positivity on that channel. All right. So down to my last guy. Guess maybe he's not as new a channel as Thrice-Aroni, but he's still in the new category. This guy's positivity is off the charts. Does a lot of mail days, puts a lot of effort into it. Reminds me of me, I guess. I don't know what else to say. He used to do pigeon videos when he first started. I haven't seen a pigeon video in a long time. But if you guessed Araña Boys, you are correct. So, those are my 10 inductees for this year's Hall of Fame. And hopefully I explained to you guys why I voted for each person. Like I said, everybody has their own votes. And whoever you vote for, hey, all right, it's your choice. And whoever I for, they're my choice. Hopefully we just all respect each other. And so when you've already been in the Hall of Fame, you get to vote for these 2 extra votes. One is the Good Guy Award. So this kind of helped me. This kind of helped me out to in the placing of people, because this person right here, he collects vintage, and I had him in my vintage section, but I only voted for 2, and this guy was in limbo, but I was able to put him in the Good Guy Award because he's super generous. All right. And I've heard a lot of people vote for him into the Hall of Fame because of his generosity as the reason, and he is. He's super generous, man. He super collects Jewish players. So if you guessed Sean Tiford for the Good Guy Award, you are correct. So now the last vote is for the Lifetime Achievement Award. So it's kind of hard for people. If you're a newer person, you probably aren't too familiar with Lifetime Achievement Award qualifiers, I guess. People have been making YouTube video for 5 to 10 years, if not longer. And, so this next guy I'm voting for, he has a beard. He's been making videos for a long time. He once broke his elbow during a response video that he made a long time ago. Looking back at some of his old videos I watched before, he used to have a lot of fun. And he definitely deserves the Lifetime Achievement Award. It was a tough fight between this guy, and I'm gonna say I almost voted for Filmington for this award, because if you don't know, just like 4 years ago, Filmington was driving a Uber. You know what I mean? Just to afford his Rogaine and cards. And look where he's at now. Financially, he's jumped by leaps and bounds from driving that Uber, for follicles and cardboard, to now he's just banking. But I think this guy deserves it just a little bit more because he's been on there longer, and it is a Lifetime Achievement Award. And my guy right here used to do videos about cars too. And if you guessed Purple GT for the Lifetime Award, you are correct. So this is my Hall of Fame vote video, guys. No, it's long, but They usually are, and hopefully maybe you guys saw some channels you never heard before, or hopefully you just see all the channels I see and agree. But anyways, just love the hobby, people. Keep collecting baseball cards forever, I say. Ciao. Ooga, 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 jaka. Ooga, 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 jaka. Ooga, 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 jaka.